each master of Jue Yuan Temple, and she has been working in different countries and also has made presentation even in the UNESCO. So he has a long services to mention here, but I am not going to say. So we kindly invite Dr. Ding Hong to give his presentation.
Thank you very much, moderator. Venerables, our distinguished guests, thank you very much for including me in the panel, and I'd like to apologize for changing the order because some of our Chinese delegates will have to leave by 11, so they want to listen to my presentation before they leave. So I appreciate the next presenter for letting me to present first. And I used to be a financial economics professor in the US and Australia, but now I'm a Buddhist monk, as you can see. I used to think that there is no overlap between economics and Buddhism, but now I think that Buddhism actually can provide a very good solution to the economic development. So my topic will shed light on the income and happiness paradox that economics have been researching during the last several decades. And this may also shed light upon our moderator's question about why Buddhist countries appear to be poor, but in fact they can be happy. Happiness cannot be simply measured by economic income. The Western economics has proposed the idea that individuals' happiness, or in economics term, utility, increases with income. This assumption has been accepted by the entire economic world and keeps driving every economic agent, individual or firm, to tirelessly accumulate income. And people tend to evaluate their happiness level using monetary income. And government leaders widely believe that a country can become happier through continuous stimulation of gross domestic product per capita. And company leaders are misled by most business textbooks, as I used to be teaching, that the goal of the firm is to maximize the owner's wealth in monetary terms. As a result, while humanity's wealth has increased substantially in the last century, the increased sufferings induced by the environmental damage and economic crisis have offset the insignificant increase in the society's happiness. The famous paradox noted by Professor Richard Earstony in the US was that over time, the society did not become happier as it became richer. While an individual's income reaches at a certain level, in 2005 price, US dollars, $20,000 per year, happiness will have little increase with extra income. This phenomenon is known as the diminishing marginal utility of income. And this implies that an ever-growing economy does not improve the society's happiness. This is not to say that economic growth is absolutely unnecessary, but it should not be pursued under the circumstances that social harmony and economic stability are destroyed, or the global ecological system and the world climate are jeopardized. Psychologists have found repeatedly that individuals who attach more importance to higher income generally are less happy and more vulnerable to other psychological ills than the individuals who do not crave for higher income. While higher income may raise happiness to some extent, human beings' emotional attachment to the income and wealth may actually reduce one's happiness. And Buddhist teachings provides an ideal solution to this happiness income paradox proposed by economists. According to the Buddhist teaching, suffering is the consequence of wrongdoings such as continuous craving for material goods. The root cause of all wrongdoings is the attachment to one's self. But Buddhism has taught us that one's body is simply the combination of four conditions, so-called earth, representing bone and flesh, etc., and water, representing body fluid, fire, representing temperature, and wind, representing the breath. In fact, there is no such self as regarded by ordinary people. And Mahayana Buddhism further points out that the entire universe, including our environment and ourselves, is just like a dream which has never occurred. Perfect understanding of this truth is called enlightenment. An enlightened person will naturally let go of self-interest act and will be absolutely altruistic. Therefore, the so-called rational behavior targeted at self-interest in Western economics is, on the contrary, considered irrational according to the Buddhist view. And Western economics believe that people can attain happiness by getting more income. Buddha took a completely different approach to attain ultimate happiness. He first demonstrated that by relieving himself from all suffering at the age of 30, then he conducted teachings in the rest of his life to all sentient beings on how to attain ultimate happiness. By clearing away greed, anger, and ignorance from our mind, one can get rid of all sufferings and attain true happiness. Buddha advised us to cultivate unconditional loving kindness and compassion by diligently helping all sentient beings to relieve from sufferings. This universal compassion is the key component of Bodhi mind, advocated by the Mahayana Buddhism. By continuous serving the society and all sentient beings, one can gradually disengage the clinging to self and attain higher happiness. And the happiness level varies with the levels of awakening and practice. Therefore, Buddhist teaching plays an important role in helping people identify true happiness and what to pursue. If the teaching of Buddhism is rightly spread, the value based on altruism will prevail, and the happiness level of all social classes, the rich or the poor, will keep increasing. I will give you an example. Getwell Electronic Company of Dongguan City in Guangdong Province of China has made a successful attempt in promoting the altruism value. Starting from 2015, its board of directors adopted a so-called 51, 21, 24 dividend distribution scheme. That is, 51% of the company's dividends were donated to an internal charity fund. Okay. And the rest will be distributed among the owners and the staff members. The owners of the firm actually are receiving less income. And the most 51% of the company's income are used to contribute to charity work and the spread of Buddhism education. And 1 year later, the company has enjoyed 50% rise in their profits, which comes from the reason of that is the staff members' incentives have been promoted because they view themselves as the owners of the firm as well as the contributor to the society overall happiness. So as the leader of China, Chairman Xi Jinping pointed out this year earlier, our planet is the entity of all human beings with common fate. We can only be happy when others are happy. So let me draw the conclusion. Economists have observed the paradox that higher income leads to little increase in happiness when the baseline income is overpassed. If income is unduly pursued, happiness will actually diminish in the end, let alone the deteriorating human relationship and natural environment. Buddhism advocates little desire and contentment, which is the ideal solution to the happiness decline problem. When one is engaged to a compassion work and be rid of selfishness, one can attain higher level of inner happiness that does not depend on income. The society as a whole would have great happiness level should the Buddhist teachings be spread. Thank you very much.